Hey YouTubers, welcome to the channel. I'm Tony the Technician, and today we're going to be going back into the Harbor Freight website and checking out some of their new tools that they have to offer. So if you guys follow the channel, you guys may know that when we do this, we always start at the top and work our way down. The further you go down the new tools list, the older the tools get, so we'll just go until we ended the last video. Starting at the top here, we have the 12 amp heavy duty portable electric pipe threader. Honestly, this is not a tool that I would use. It's not one that I own, anything like that. This isn't anything that I would use. So I'm going to show it just so you guys can see it, but I don't have any personal experience with this or anything like it. So just keep that in mind. I figure some viewers may get some information out of this though. But this is $350. And they do have a couple others that they offer already at Harbor Freight. So this is just an additional one to their lineup. This one works for a 1/2 inch to 2 inch pipe, and it's supposed to be 40% faster. I don't know, 40% faster than doing it by hand or their other tools. I don't know. So they don't state anything like that, but here's just a couple images of what you're getting in the packaging. And it's got an aluminum housing that's supposed to stand up to tough working conditions. Other than that, here you can see the other ones that they offer. They have a 1/2 inch to 1 inch ratcheting pipe threader, this 5-piece set for $55. And then you have their corded 12 amp one from Central Machinery that's $200, down from $230 right now. And like I stated, this new one is $350, so a little bit more expensive, but they once again compare it to Rigid at $1,043, so definitely some savings there, but I'm sure there's a big quality difference. But once again, I don't have any experience with either one of those. Here's just a little bit of information if you guys would like to pause and take a look at that information. Then next up on the list, we have an 11 inch 2000 PSI surface cleaner for electric pressure washers. This one is for electric pressure washers specifically. They do have another one available that's for both gas and electric. This is going to be more for your DIYers that just want to clean like their patios or sidewalks or porches or driveways or anything like that. This is a little bit smaller, obviously quite a bit cheaper, but I think it would be just fine for any household work. Just I don't think it would be something that would hold up very long in the professional field, but it is $28. And here you can see they have a 14-inch one at 3,300 PSI for both gas and electric. And here's just a little bit of information on it. Next up, we have the Icon ball peen Deblo hammer, 16 ounce. I don't know if this is just another size that they added or why this one's, I swear they already had this one, maybe not. But if you guys follow the channel, you guys know my personal opinion. While I do believe Icon makes some really good quality tools, when it comes to a lot of their tools, they're still overpriced, especially when it comes to these hammers, because you can find some USA made ones by Trusty Cook and other brands that sell Trusty Cook. You know, you got Tecton, Capri, I think even Olsa now sells a set, and you got Eastwood. You got a lot of other USA made hammers of this style for the same price, and sometimes even cheaper than this price. So that's just something to keep in mind. Now, a couple of their hammers are priced decently. It's within a few dollars. To me, I'd just rather purchase the USA made one. Then one that I was surprised to see, if you guys know me, this is actually what I do as a profession now. I do paintless dent removal, and I was pretty surprised to see this. You see smaller sets and sets like this at some, auto parts stores. You'll see the suction cup and things like that. I don't ever suggest using the suction cup unless you're, maybe working on like a plastic bumper or something like that. But like there's customers that don't want to spend the money to get the dents fixed properly, so they'll go online and buy a set like this. And as long as you don't have very good eyes, most people will just go in and try and glue pull and fix dents and completely hack it up to where it's now unrepairable. But as long as you don't have good eyes and you really don't actually care what it looks like, then yeah, you can probably save a little bit of money going this route, because PDR is not something that everybody can do. I have OCD, so like I wouldn't, like if I didn't get into this profession and actually train for it, like I would never try to fix my own stuff, because if I messed it up, I would be highly disappointed. And so we end up having a lot of people come to us asking if we can fix something that they've already tried to fix, which is now unfixable. Not always, but a good majority of the time. So I was pretty surprised by this set though. So if we take a little bit closer look here, basically what we have over here, this is a tool for removing the glue tabs. Sometimes the glue doesn't want to release from the panel, so you have a little spray bottle up here. You put some isopropyl alcohol and you can spray the glue or the tab, and then sometimes you can just pull it off by hand, but sometimes they really do stick, and this is basically like a plastic blade that you can get behind the glue without damaging the panel and get that tab off. Then over here we have a knockdown. It's basically got a plastic tip on it that screws into this aluminum handle. This allows you to knock down high spots, because when you glue pull, you're going to end up either not moving the panel at all, or you're going to be pulling that metal out. And most of the time, especially if you don't know how to control your slide hammer, you're going to pull it past where it originally sat. So you're going to have to knock that panel back down and do it strategically to lay it flat. And then you can actually unscrew the tip on that, and they have a little bit more round, not so pointed tip here, and you can get hundreds of different styles of tips. They just offer you a couple there. You have a hand puller. This is for sliding it onto your glue tabs and pulling it by hand. You got your cheap little corded glue gun. You have a slide hammer, which no slide hammer is cheap, really. So the fact that this set is $130 and includes a slide hammer, even if it's not, the greatest slide hammer, that's a pretty decent deal, because I spent more on my slide hammer alone than this entire set. I also spent more just on my glue gun than this entire set. So PDR tools are very expensive. So like these glue tabs and glue and things like that are not going to be the highest quality stuff, but it is what it is. You get a variety of different glue tabs of different shapes, which probably won't last long, some generic glue, and then this is a tab puller. Instead of using a slide hammer or the hand puller, you actually have this, and you squeeze the handle and it actually pulls the tab. You can kind of get better control. And I'll tell you one thing, don't use the suction cups. Don't try. You're just going to, most of the time, make it worse. So if you do plan on getting a set like this, just make sure you take your time and don't break the paint. Don't make it worse than what it was before. If you start to, just stop before you get too far into it. Overall, it's okay, I guess. They're all over Amazon, sets like this. So here we have a 3-wheel dolly. This one's for 200 pounds. It's $8. I swear I've already seen these. Maybe this is just a different weight rating, but this is just going to help you move, things around. And these things can actually be quite handy. There's actually one that I want to mention. It's like a beefed up version of this with a jack stand included, but here's another vise added to the lineup at Harbor Freight. I feel like every time we do one of these videos, we're either seeing new sandpaper, vices. They've definitely been expanding on those. Here are some 3/8 inch semi-deep sockets from Icon. So I want to say when Icon first released their stuff, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they were having an issue with the softness of the material and they were deforming. So I want to say they went through and redesigned them. But this is the semi-deep set for $45. It's a 12-piece set. Not terrible pricing, not great, but semi-deep sockets are actually fantastic because sometimes you just don't need the full deep well socket. I have a set from Capri Tools, and I love that set. So once again, it comes in that little plastic blow molded case, and hopefully these hold up a little bit better than, from what I'm remembering, they were having that issue with a little bit softer material when they first released these. And then it is no skip sizing as well. Here are the sizes that are going to be included, 8 through 19 for that 3/8 set. Next up, we have the 20-volt brushless cordless half-inch drive high torque impact with the extended anvil. This is the tool only, no battery or charger or anything like that. Hopefully we start to see more sets like that where they include a battery and charger. 1,200 foot-pounds of breakaway and 800 foot-pounds of fastening torque. And then it has the 2-inch extended anvil. And there's just a little bit of information on its 4 different modes and the strength of each mode, or the speed of each mode, I should say. We have an 8-inch bench grinder and belt sander combination. I know when I was looking for a bench grinder, I was looking at reviews and asking a lot of people, and everybody was just telling me to just stay away from the bench grinders at Harbor Freight. But again, this was a few years ago, and I feel like they've added to the lineup quite a bit as far as bench grinders. So hopefully we start to hear more positive things, because I could really get some good use out of something like this. So this isn't necessarily a tool that I would be using all that often, so I don't want to spend $250 or so. This is a 8-inch grinding wheel, 2x28 inch sanding belt from 0 to 90 degrees. It's a 4.8 amp, 3/4 horsepower motor. Here's what I mentioned before. This was pretty interesting to me, and I could get a lot of good use out of this, because whoever owned my Camaro before did not know the jack points. And like my driver's side where my seat is, they just stuck a jack right there and just started lifting. You can tell there's a hump underneath the car, or a dent underneath the car, where somebody definitely put a jack or set it on something. I don't know. But these basically are going to sit on your pinch welds, and they're little dollies. They look pretty well built. They look pretty heavy duty, and they are adjustable, as you can see here. I'm not sure how well you guys can see this, but there are different pin locking positions along this. So there you can see the adjustments a little bit better. So you can adjust the height. I don't suggest using them like this. That's probably not safe, but they do stack. Okay, so it may be a metal material with a rubber strip across the top to prevent damage to the bottom of the vehicle. There you can see it in use. Looks like somebody's already jacked where they're not supposed to on this. I may be wrong. I don't know. To me, that looks pretty damaged already. But they are $250, so they are quite expensive, but they are also very handy tools. So you have things similar to this, the wheel dollies that you can just slide underneath your wheels, move your vehicle around if you got your car in the shop or garage or whatever, and it's maybe not in running condition. You can move it around and work on it easily, get it up off the ground a little bit. Maybe you don't have tires on yours. This could be a really handy little solution to that. So here's one of their wheel dollies for $90. So once again, definitely not cheap. They do compare them to the OTC for $400, so a little bit of savings there, almost $150. And here's the information on it, and it is good for 3,600 pounds. Here they have the Maddox fuel and transmission line disconnect tool set. You can get these from all over, multiple different brands. They're just kind of like little bit of aluminum. Sometimes they're plastic. These are, aluminum, looks to be, and this is just going to help you remove lines a little bit easier. You have a variety of different sizes. I got a full quick disconnect set that came with many other styles as well for other types of lines for like this price on Amazon. So definitely before purchasing some things at Harbor Freight, make sure you look around. You can always find possibly better deals other places as well. And then here I believe is where we ended the last video. I know we went over the full bank service cart from US General that is now available in the slate gray. I can't remember if we went over this 20-volt brushless cordless 1-inch rotary hammer tool or not, but this is the tool only, no battery included, for $100. Once again, this isn't really a tool that I'd be using either. Anytime I need a hammer drill, my standard drill is plenty powerful enough for the work that I do. But once again, maybe you're working on some home projects that you're doing a little bit of renovation and you don't want to spend, $300 on one. This will save you a little bit of money and hopefully turn out to be a good deal in the future. But that's with these new tools. We don't know until we give them a little bit of time. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, please make sure to smash that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below of your guys' thoughts on some of these products, or if you've already purchased some of them. And as always, if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next one.